Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I will be doing a tournament free-for-all style competition where the winner will be crowned champion and will face off against a brave warrior trying to earn their right to freedom. But that will be in another video. For this video, I will be less of a spectacle and a more straightforward fight. I am going to put 8 random monsters against each other until one is left, and each match will be randomized. I will be throwing up the monster stat block, abilities, and all their info, so it would be a lot easier to follow. The only reason I didn't do this in the last video is because I love the mystery and the immersion it brings. Also, one more thing before we get started. All the monsters are the same challenge rating, and all of them are from the monster manual. Alright, here are our 8 lucky contestants, starting with the top left going down. We have the cockatrice, jackaware, the lizard folk, the tridrone, and top right going down we have the knoll, the ape, a warhorse, and a swarm of insects. For the last 3 there was no concept art, so I am using the default beast placeholder art. And the way this is going to work is I am going to roll a d4 and whoever matches will face each other off. So first off, I'm going to roll for the cockatrice. That's 4. Next up, I'm going to roll for the knoll. That's a 1. Then I'm going to roll for the jackaware. That's a 3. Now for the ape. And that's a 3. It's going to be for the lizard folk. That's a 2. Then for the warhorse, that's a 3, which is already a mismatch. I'm going to re-roll. That's a 2. And then for the tridrone, that's a 1. And by default, the swarm of insects is going to face off against the cockatrice. And talking about facing off, that'll be our first match. So let's roll for initiative. I'm going to roll for the cockatrice first. That is a 13. And then I'm going to roll for the swarm of insects. That is a 14. Going up first is the swarm of insects. That is a 6 plus 3, 9, which does not hit. So now the cockatrice, that's a 14 plus 3, which is 17. And it's a 1d4 plus 1. So that is 3 points of damage in total. And the swarm of insects would have to make a Constitution saving throw, but they are immune to petrification. So we're going to roll for them once more. That's a 14 plus 3, 17. That hits. And that is a 4d4. This would be 2 plus 4, 6. 7, 9 points of damage. Now back to the cockatrice. 14 plus 3, 17. That hits. And that is going to be 1d4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So now that swarm of insects. 16 plus 3, that's a 19. That hits. It's a 4d4. That's 6 plus 8. That's a 14. Now back to the cockatrice that just got absolutely rocked. That's a 6 plus 3, so that's a miss. Now the swarm of insects. This might be the last roll. 12 plus 3, that hits. So by default, the cockatrice is out. So that means the swarm of insects will be moving on to the next round. Alright, next up we have the knoll versus the tridrone. And I'm going to roll to see who goes first. It's going to be 8 for the knoll. 15 for the tridrone. So the tridrone's going first. The tridrone does 3 attacks. I'm going to go with the javelin because it's stronger for the first attack. That's 15. That's going to hit For the second attack, 19. That will also hit. For the third attack, that's a 5. That's going to miss. So for the first attack, the null's going to take 3 points of piercing damage. And for the second attack, 7 points of piercing damage. So 10 total points. Now it's the null's turn. He's going to make one. That's a natural 20. He's going to make a spear attack. So for the natural 20, I roll the dice and then I double the number. I don't roll twice. So the tridone is going to take. That's a 7 plus 7, 14 plus 2, 16 points of piercing damage. Now back to the tridone, who's hanging on for dear life. First attack, 19. That's going to hit. For the second attack, 13 plus 3, so that's 16. That hits. And for the last attack, it's a 19. That all 3 will connect. Alright, so for the first attack, the null is going to take 2 points of piercing damage. For the second, 5. And for the third, 5. So it's going to be 11 points of piercing damage in total. No, sorry. 12 points of piercing damage in total. And that will be enough to take the null out. Just barely getting the win over. The tridrone will be moving on to the next series of matches. Okay, so now we have the ape versus the jackalware, and I'm gonna roll to see who goes first. 10 for the jackalware, 14 for the ape. So the ape is going first. The ape is gonna make 2 fist attack for the first attack. 10 plus 5, that's 15. And for the next attack, a 5 plus 5, that's 10. So it's gonna miss. So the jackalware is gonna take 4 points of damage. Next up is the jackalware. He's gonna roll a 10 plus 4, that's 14. That'll hit. And the ape will take 4 points of damage. Back to the ape. He's gonna roll a 2 plus 5, does not hit. So that means the jackalware is gonna roll 3 plus 4, 7, does not hit. Back to the ape, and he's rolling 3 plus 5 is 8, does not hit. Once more for the jackalware. He's gonna roll 16 hits. Alright, so the ape is gonna take 8 points of damage. Alright, so now the ape is gonna take the opportunity to retaliate. He's gonna roll a 12 plus 4 plus 5, does hit. The jackalware is gonna take 6 points of damage. Pretty evenly matched here. I'm gonna roll for the jackalware once again. He's gonna roll 17, that hits. He's gonna do 3 points of damage. Now it's back to the ape, and I paused for a moment. I went back to review the footage, and I realized that I missed 3 attacks for the ape. So he's gonna do his 2 normal ones plus 3 more, so that's gonna be 5 attacks in a row. Let's see if this will finish this. So the first attack is gonna be 18, that hits. For the second attack, 17, that'll hit as well. For the third attack, 17, that also hits. For the fourth attack, 5, that'll miss. And for the last attack, 16, that'll hit as well. So it's going to be 4 attacks in total against the poor jackalware, but it's only fair. So for the first attack, it's going to be 5 plus 3, that's 8, and that's all we need. So the ape wins this round, even without the extra attacks. On the first one, he just finished it, so he's going to be moving on to the next round. Now, before moving on to the next round, I did make another mistake. The jackalware is immune to damage from non-magical items, but to make it fair, I was going to half his damage. He was going to take half damage, but I forgot to factor that in. Nevertheless, the ape still had some attacks left, and I think even with that calculation, it'll still take out the jackalware. so it didn't impact it too much here. And if that doesn't work for you, aren't all animals in D&D magical? So therefore he's wielding, magical weapons. His fists are magical. And for our last match before heading into the semifinals, we have the lizard folk versus the warhorse. So now I'm gonna roll to see who goes first. First I'm gonna roll for the lizard folk. That's an 11. Now for the warhorse. That's a natural 1. So the lizard folk will be going first. Okay, so he makes 2 attacks. For the first attack, he's gonna roll a 10 plus 4, 14. That hits. And for the next attack, rolling a 6 plus 4, 10. That does not hit. So the warhorse will be taking 1 plus 2 is 3 points of damage. Next up is the warhorse. He's going to be rolling a 5 plus 6, which is a 11. Does not hit. Back to the lizard folk. For his first attack, a 19 does hit. For his second attack, 11 plus 4 does hit. Okay, so for the first attack, the warhorse is going to take a 6 plus 2. That's an 8. And for the second attack, a 4 plus 2. So that's a 6. For a grand total of 14 points of damage. Let's see if the warhorse can retaliate at all. He's going to roll a 10 plus a 6, 16. That does hit. So that means the lizard folk is going to take 2d6. Take 4 plus 4. That's 8 points of damage. So now the lizard folk is going to do a strength saving throw. He rolls a 18 plus 2. That's a 20. So the warhorse does not get a bonus action attack. Now back to the lizard folk, and he's gonna roll natural 20. So by default, the lizard folk moves on to the next round. So here is our semifinalist. But before I move on, this is where the episode is gonna end. Make sure you comment on who you think is gonna win. Make bets. Win some money. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night, whenever you're watching this. Take care of yourself and each other. Until next time.